And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're walking into the room. I guarantee it today. We got Jim Richter in here with us this morning.
Gosh, I'm the onlyest one with you, other than Packy, of course.
We can't count Packy. He's just a button
doesn't
masher.
count, huh?
Yeah, he's just a button masher. But anyway, that is so. Sherry's laid out on us all. Has anybody seen Sherry?
Is Sherry a malingerer?
I don't know what the heck she is. She's one of these millennials or something. She don't get out of bed past I don't know what time anyway. Hey, folks, we got Sarah Beth Terry coming on today, and this is going to be great. She is an awesome singer, songwriter. You know how I love that kind of stuff. But anyway, if y'all would like to check her out before we get there, all you got to do is go to sarahbethterry.com. Pull her up. You can see all the stuff she's got, and she's got some cool music. I'm not kidding you. And it's the kind of stuff that everybody likes to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Not this top 40 pop stuff, whatever it is.
Or polka.
Polka. It's not polka.
You don't like polka music?
I do not. I do not. I sound like a Mexican every time I do polka music. That's my German voice.
Polish.
Polish. That's my Polish voice.
Polish.
I do not like it. I do not like it. No. That is so funny, man. I am not kidding you. We were doing a gig somewhere. I cannot remember where it was at. And this lady
It's best that you don't remember most of those gigs.
And this lady come up to me and she's like, "Do you know any polka music?" And I'm like, "Lady, look at the band. I mean, can you think we can't even spell polka? Are you kidding?"
We're up here playing outlaw music and you want polka music.
Polka? Are you kidding? So we can do a waltz, but we can't do no polka. But anyway, hey, today, little Jimmy Dickens was number 1. Yeah, may the bird of paradise fly up your nose. That is a beautiful wish.
Boy, that's an attractive phrase. Isn't it? Yeah.
May the bird of paradise fly up your nose. I don't know, little Jimmy Dickens. He was a little feller, you know.
Well, that went over like a lead balloon.
You know, they said that they go by, you know, they do all that tour of the homes. You know, you get in your bus and they drive to everybody's house and all that kind. You know, Waylon Jennings actually chased one of the buses down because they kept coming by his house. But anyway, they say little Jimmy Dickens will be out there on his snapper riding lawnmower, mowing the grass. Just one of us. John Denver was number 1 back in the day. Today with Windsong. This is his 9th album. He'd be with us today if he didn't get drunk and fly an airplane with no gas in it.
Today's a famous day in American history, November 22nd.
What is that?
1963, JFK.
Oh, yeah. They still trying to figure out what happened on that. Everybody's got, what they call it, conspiracy theorist.
Well, that was what the CIA came up with.
Yeah. Hey, I know one thing. In 89, Alabama was number 1 with Southern Star. That was a cool.
Yeah.
I love that guitar riff in that. I think that's what made that song, that guitar riff. I love that. I could just replay the riff and just leave the rest of the song.
Need a good riff or a hook to make a song, a hit song.
At 99, Toby Keith was number 1 with "How Do You Like Me Now?" How do you like me now? How's he doing, anyways? Anybody know?
I hadn't really heard a peep out of him.
Yeah, I don't either. I hadn't heard anything much out of him, but I know he had throat cancer or stomach cancer or something. Didn't he have? And he's been trying to recuperate from that. But anyway, I guess our prayers go out to Toby because I hate to have anything happen to him. And I reckon they let Jay Leno out of the garage today.
I actually saw a photo of him posing with some of the nursing and hospital staff, and he looked pretty good. Sort of the bottom of his chin.
Can
and
you
his
imagine
neck,
the only thing that got burnt on Jay was his chin? Bless his heart. And I don't know what the deal is with these comedians, man, getting burnt up, you know, because Richard Pryor, remember, he got blowed up.
He got just about burned to a crisp.
Yeah, bless his heart. But anyway, Taylor Swift. I ain't even going to talk about Taylor Swift.
Nah, forget about
skip
that.
Keith Urban. I ain't going to talk about Keith Urban either. But
on this day in 1744, Abigail Adams, the second First Lady of the United States, the wife of John Adams, President Adams. Charles de Gaulle was born on this day, General de Gaulle of France. Edward Bernays. Have you ever heard of that name before?
So far, I'm batting 0.
Edward Bernays, father of modern propaganda.
Oh, there you go.
How to brainwash the population. Hoagie Carmichael. Oh, here's one you'll know. Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, I love Rodney.
He was born 1921. Oh, my wife's so ugly she could make a train turn up a dirt road.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Robert Vaughn, 1932. The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
How about this? In 1975, KC and the Sunshine Band was number 1 with That's the Way, I like it,
You know,
Please, God, don't bring me no KC and y'all bring me if y'all got a
you
KC
sound
and
very authentic when you're singing that.
I missed. Nobody ever talks about disco. I miss disco. I want disco back. What happened to disco duck? We had that guy on there that actually wrote that. What was his name? We had him on that wrote the disco duck. I can't remember
Dees.
What now?
Dees. Wasn't it like Rick Dees or
Was
something?
yeah, Rick Dees. That's right, Rick Dees. He's a big deal out there. But
Well, you know, I wouldn't poo-poo anything like that. He's probably getting nice fat royalties out of it.
I don't ever hear it on the radio. I know we don't play it here. We need to play That's the Way, I like it, Miss it. Miss doing all them moves.
You know, I won't say I'd pay money, but I'd like to see you do some of those moves with the Midnight Express.
I can do it, especially if we break out with disco.
Better not hurt your back.
National Cranberry Relish Day. I have no idea what that. I don't like cranberries. I don't like relish, and I could care less.
You don't relish it, huh?
I don't relish it. But anyway. What else you got? Anything right quick before we break loose and go to a break and see if we can get this young lady on?
That's the birthdays I had.
That's it. That's all we got. But anyway, we're going to take a break right quick, see if we can get this gal on. I'm going to tell y'all, no kidding, before we go to break, y'all go Google, and I know y'all are listening out there. Are we on live? We got it on the YouTube and all that stuff,
Yep,
too?
we're
Okay.
live.
All right. For y'all watching, go out to SarahBethTerry.com. Y'all going to love her music. And like I said, she's wrote a lot of cool songs, and she is a mess. I've talked to her already. She's one of us. You know what I'm saying? You know, my daddy said,
boy, we're in trouble now.
my daddy's meet people. He said, you know, he ain't that ain't our kind of folk, you know. But you know what I'm saying? You ever met somebody that just ain't your kind of folk?
She's your kind of folk.
Yeah, I guarantee you that being said. But anyway, Young Harris Water Sports, y'all go by check them out. It's getting wintertime, folks. And if you do not have your boat winterized, you are going to be up the creek without a boat next year because it's going to be water be coming through the side of that thing. Go by and check them out. They also got RVs. They got, you name it, accessories to go along with your boat and all the good stuff. So give them a call, Young Harris Water Sports.
And now with more news for Western North Carolina and North Georgia, I'm Jeff Batten. A Murphy woman and a Blairsville man are out on bond after being arrested last week for burglarizing an empty Blairsville home. More interesting is what the sheriff's office says Heather Parker and Sam Mastronardi found there, namely firearms, jewelry, and a lawnmower. The owner had moved out of his South Blairsville home, but evidently didn't take everything with him. Captain Darren Osborne says he believes Parker had entered the home twice before, which is unusual for Union County.
No, this is the first time it's happened in several years. And then this popped up, and now we've solved this crime, and hopefully, the message will get through again.
The Asheville Times newspaper is reporting that outgoing North Carolina District Congressman Madison Cawthorn is still on the MAGA wagon and that he was in attendance at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate last week for Trump's campaign announcement. Cawthorn, who represented our western counties, said he would back Trump's 24 presidential run, quote, barring some terrible information, unquote. This comes after Trump withheld support for Cawthorn in the final days of last May's North Carolina primary. And Blue Ridge EMC is touting the work of their director of broadband, Alex King. King was recently recognized in an industry magazine as one of the top 20 people in that line of work nationally under the age of 40. King was promoted to that position by BREMC in 2021 and has been with the company for 11 years, having started off as an intern. For Pat Malone and Harry Bond, I'm Jeff Batten.
The massive store closing liquidation is going strong at Carolina Furniture and Mattress in Hayesville. They're closing their doors forever. Now, additional discounts have been taken on all furniture and mattresses store-wide. Don't wait. The end is near at Carolina Furniture and Mattress in Hayesville.
Dad, turn on the heat.
Give it a second.
Hey, Dad, it's really cold.
Guys, this car isn't exactly brand new. Give it a second.
So I'm guessing heated seats are out of the question?
Wise guy.
Hey guys, it's Andy. Why don't you come see me and check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Jackie Jones Ford of Hayesville. Jackie Jones Ford is ready to hook you and the kids up with something a little, hotter. Jackie Jones, your neighborhood Ford dealer, Highway 64 West in Hayesville. Online at jjfordhayesville.com.
If you've been injured, you don't need to go to Atlanta or Gainesville to find a lawyer. The law office of Daniel Duello specializes in accident cases and is based in Blairsville. I used to defend insurance companies and saw their attempts to pay less through pressure and delays. Now I want to use that experience to help you get treated fairly. Just search for Daniel Duello or call 706-603-3036 and I'll see you in Blairsville. It's 706-603-3036.
General Supply in Blairsville is your source for farm, feed, seed, propane tank refills, and garden supplies in the 5-county area. And you do not want to miss the huge sale going on now. All clothing in the entire store is 20% or more off, and 10% off everything else in the entire gift shop except food. 20-pound barbecue propane tank refills are only $14.95 every day. Plants are on sale too. Step back in time where old-fashioned service is our motto at General Supply, 764 Gainesville Highway in Blairsville, 706-363-1000.
Linda, I've got to take extra time for lunch to grab my supplements. I wish I could go before work.
Actually, you can. Did you hear S&S Smoothies and Supplements in Blairsville is now open at 6 a.m.?
6? In the morning?
Yep, open 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. weekdays. It's perfect for hospital workers, teachers, or anyone who has to be at work early or stay late. And S&S Smoothies has tons of new products, smoothie flavors, and more. One other thing, they're now open until 8 Saturday, too, at the Merchants Walk in Blairsville.
Club 66 Veterans and Associates is a pretty unique place. They are a nonprofit organization with a veterans thrift store and a club, and they help out with all kinds of local charities like Toys for Tots. They're located at 2641 State Highway 66 in Young Harris. The club has a fun, friendly atmosphere with pool tables, darts, and of course cold beer. Club 66 believes in God, country, Second Amendment, and supporting our vets. To find out more about this great organization, give them a call at 706-379-3774.
Additional discounts taken. Now's the time to save during Carolina Furniture and Mattresses' massive store closing liquidation. They're closing their doors forever. Additional discounts have been taken. Hurry! You can't afford to miss these savings at Carolina Furniture and Mattress in Hayesville.
The Morning Dish. The Tuesday Morning Dish is powered by Young Harris Water Sports. You want to deal with people who love boats? You've come to the right place. From a new covered storage facility to boat consignment services, it's all in one place with Young Harris Water Sports.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. Like I said, go to sarahbethterry.com, and we have this young lady all the way from Kentucky on with us this morning. How are you, girl?
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Well, we're just hanging in here about to freeze to death down here in Georgia, but we're glad you're with us. I guarantee you that.
Well, I had a great idea that I was going to come down to our gorgeous, newly renovated public library this morning, and they had this beautiful conference room, and I was like, oh, I'll do it from in there. And I got down here, and it says, we're going to open at 9 today because it's cold. And I was like, well, I'll just sit in the car and smoke. It's fine.
There you go. Yeah, smoke that cigarette. Yeah, I'm all about that, girl. But anyway, I've just kind of come across a friend of ours kind of got us together on this, and I love your music. Packy's got one pulled up. Rebel, I think it's Rebel. Is that the one I pulled up? Or he's supposed to have anyway. He's a little bit slow.
Sure.
But anyway, I love that tune. I mean, I know it's not the latest one you've got out. He's working on it now. But you started singer, songwriting. When did all this get started?
Oh, Lord. Mama said I could sing before I could talk. And when I was growing up, we didn't have cable. So, because, Eastern Kentucky, we were lucky to have running water. And my mama used to sit me on the porch. She used to have these huge poetry books. Right. And I would sneak and get them. And they were old. Oh, they were old. And she'd sit me on the front porch with an egg timer and a notepad and one of them books. And she'd say, okay, write me a song about page number 12 or write me a song about page number 30. And I thought that she was prepping me to be a songwriter. Like I had like this mission, but really she was just trying to get me out of the house because there wasn't no cable and I was under her feet. So when I became a songwriter, she was like, really? So I, after college, packed up, moved to Nashville and wrote with everybody that would stand still. And finally, right at the base of COVID, I was like, I'm tired of playing for everybody else. I'm going to just start singing my own stuff. And I got real bored and did 8 albums in 18 months. So.
Oh, that's rude. There's one of them. He's got it up now playing.
And I never did understand it.
Oh, I love it.
As underhanded as it can be. How to hell with me. No.
Yeah, that's great.
Or your permission, 'cause I can't help myself.
That's That's one of them songs get you a speeding ticket right there. You get to listen to it, you know. And then
It has.
Yeah.
I've got pulled over quite a bit of times listening to my own stuff, and I'm like, I'm into this song, and I'm liking this beat, and I'm like, and there's blue lights every time.
It's happened to me a time or two as well. This is Jim Ricker.
Well, you know, we got pulled over the other night by this lovely little state trooper here in Kentucky. And to be fair, we was going about 85 and a 50. And we were like, and he pulled us over. Well, I had this big bumper sticker on the back of my car along with 90 others. It's like, be kind and y'all need Jesus and whatever.
Yeah.
But there's one that says, the sun is high and so am I.
Right.
Uh-oh.
And he came up and he peeked in the window and he said, you ladies have some interesting bumper stickers. I said, honey, people just stick them on my cars everywhere we go. And I was like, oh, God. So he just was like, do you know how fast you was going? I was like, no. I said, I probably was going real fast, but I was trying to do my makeup at the same time. I wasn't paying no attention. And he just left. I said, do you do private security detail? Because if I do a big show up in here in Ashland, I want you to escort me.
Right.
He said, ma'am, we don't do that. And I said, well, if I speed towards Ashland, would you follow me to Ashland?
Yeah.
Well, before he left, I gave him a CD and I gave him a
That's a bribe,
friend request
ma'am.
on
That's a
Facebook.
bribe.
That's all right.
And I was like, how late are you working? And he said, till about 2 o'clock. I said, when we come back through here tonight, we'll swerve real good for you. Wave. That'll be us.
Yeah, there you go. At
But
90
I
mile
can't
an
believe
hour.
we talked ourselves out of that ticket. We should have been in jail. And I mean, we had guns in the glove box and a kid in the back seat. I was like, this is it. This is how we go to jail and end up in the paper right here.
Sheesh. You know what I do every time they pull me over? I just say, do you know who I am? I'm Denzel Washington.
Do you not know who I think I am?
But you know,
Somebody told you.
something kind of tickled me about you've actually got nominated for a Dove Award.
I did.
And you've got another song called Cocaine and Whiskey.
Well, it's about cocaine and whiskey. It's called I Hate the Taste of Whiskey, and Craig Morgan did it, and it released the same week. So I had a song about Jesus and a song about whiskey all at the same time. And I was really kind of disappointed that I lost to Karen Peck and New River. I mean, they're great and all.
Right.
But I really wanted to be the first person I had to censor on the Dove Awards to be like, I won this award.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you won't be the first one because Kim Williams, his whole speech when he won 3 Wooden Crosses, he was so drunk.
Yeah.
His entire speech was just beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
And thank God, beep, 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 beep. And I was like, oh, I wasn't the first. They're
Yeah.
like, no. And I was like, well, never mind then. I thought I'd be the first person they had to beep on the Dove Awards, but
That is so funny. That was just amazing. I guess you're well. I guess you said on that thing you're well rounded. I guess non-denominational. There you go. So that kind of does that.
non-denominational music.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. I was like, I consider myself #transgenre.
But now you've done a lot of co-writing with a lot of different people that over the years.
I have. I've been very fortunate to be in the right rooms at the right times. My first Craig Morgan cut came from me finally hounding Anthony Smith to death.
Right.
We were friends back since like MySpace, like way back. And I saw him at a party one night and I was like, we're going to write. And he's like, yeah, we are. And I was like, this might work for me. So I got his address and I showed up the next day and he was in his boxers. And I was like, you ready to write? He said, oh, I thought I dreamed that. I was like, no, put your pants on. We're going to write the song.
Yeah.
So we ended up having a great day and wrote 2 or 3 songs, but that was the one that got picked up by Craig. And I was like, the crazy stuff is that you never know. Like, I was driving down an alley in Music Row trying to find the ATM of a bank I had just started. And
Right.
I ran into Mila Mason. I just stopped and I was like, hey, are you Mila Mason? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, you want to write real quick? And we did. We wrote till like 11 o'clock that night. But you just never know. You just have to assume that it's like Hollywood. Everybody you meet is somebody. So you just get to know them.
Right. I love Anthony Smith. I fell in love with his stuff. Of course, I mean, he's got a lot of stuff out there, but that, I think it's Eternity he wrote for Don Williams. I think that's the one. God, I love that song. But
I fell in love when he came out with If That Ain't Country. That whole album's one of my top 10 of all time.
Yeah. He's got some good stuff. Yep.
That's when there were still CDs. Like, that CD has been stolen by everybody I've ever had listen to it. And I finally was like, is this on iTunes? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, well, that's not the same. I went to Tower Records and got it like when it was like just coming out. But,
Fellas, y'all go to SarahBethTerry.com. Sarah Beth Terry, we're talking to her. She's got some great music. I love your style. What do you feel like your style? I don't even, it's hard to put it in there, but I mean, I guess it's like kind of outlaw country, but I mean, it's got some rock and roll twist to it.
Well, that's what outlaw
it's like if
country is.
Winona was the lead singer of the Steel Drivers.
Okay, there you go. That's a good take. So now, growing up, who did you listen to? I mean, did you listen to Winona or Dolly Parton, or I mean, who is some of your?
I mean, you're naming everybody in my CD player right now. I grew up cutting my teeth on the Judds because my mom also sang, and she was like, "We can do that," and I'm like, "No, we can't."
Right.
Like, I sing with you at church and I want to kill you. Like, we can't go on the road together. So I love her so much. I love that she lives 2 hours away too. But anyway, I cut my teeth on the Judds and now you're a radio guy. You remember a guy named Gary Michaels?
Yep.
He is the reason that there's a rule at K93 that you can only win one prize every 30 days. Me and him. I was 7 years old and he was the DJ. And you'll finish this lyric and you get front row Judds tickets. And I was every caller 7. That was me. So when it was all said and done, I had like 54 sets of front row tickets to the Judds concert, and I was 7 years old. So now there's like a rule that you have to be 18 and you can only win once 30 days. And that was because of me and Gary Michaels. Like, we reconnected 30 years later and he's like, "You're the kid with the Judds tickets." I was like, "Oh my God." So,
Lock the door. Lock the door.
Lock the door. So Judds, the Patty Loveless, Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, I thought she was a movie star before I ever knew she sang a note. Like,
yeah, she's
I
both.
saw Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I was like, I want to be just like her. Mom's like, she also sings. I was like, what? She's a movie star. So I was just blown away to know that she was that first. So I just always like, Emmylou Harris played in our house a bunch. Carole King was in our house a bunch. Bonnie Raitt. So I grew up cutting my teeth on these women that just kicked down doors. There was no sticking your foot in the door. It was kicking down the door. And so I've always been
Bonnie Raitt,
that person.
Man, Bonnie Raitt is just awesome. I guarantee you. Of course.
She's just badass. And she's got bad butt. And she's got the best hair in the whole wide world. And I'm like, you can't pay for that hair. It's too pretty.
I love her and John Prine, man. I love them together. There ain't no doubt.
I do love John Prine. God rest his soul. I didn't really get to know John's music until I was up in college because he had already like left Muhlenberg County, went to Chicago. But like he came along later in my life, along with like Christopherson and Dylan, and that all of that kind of influenced my college on.
So now you've moved back out of everybody's leaving Nashville. That's the thing. Everybody's leaving Nashville. I mean, I talked to all these songwriters. They're back in Texas. They're wherever. You're back in Kentucky. What made you leave? What happened?
Well, I was tired of hearing cranes instead of whippoorwills, number one, and you couldn't see the stars for the damn skyline. So I was like, no, I'm out. Like, it used to be, when I first got to Nashville, it was the game show revolution, like American Idol, America's Got Talent, The Voice, blah, blah, blah. Like, everybody had won a game show. So songwriters kind of took a back burner, and the transition to Nashville is every 7 years. Well, I was there during the transition, but it all went Stapleton, Isbell, Tyler Childers. It didn't come to the women. It all went straight, like Bro Country went right into the songwriters.
Right.
So all of us women were like, well, we could write with the dude and drink like the dude and talk like the dudes and be one of the dudes. Or in the spirit of Loretta, we can go back to our roots and start banging on radio doors and be like, hey, you want to hear something that doesn't sound like a beer commercial?
Well, I'm with you on that. I am so sick of that. Like you say, Bro Country. I mean, it just breaks my heart. I mean, you got people like Alan Jackson. You got all these, super mega stars releasing albums. It's not even, you don't even know it. I mean, they don't even put it out there because it don't meet their little
It's
genre.
not in the box for radio. And it used to be cool to go to like radio stations and be like, hey, New Talent Tuesday or New Music Monday or whatever, and you had like regional talent. I mean, that's how Ricky Skaggs got his start, Loretta got her start, and you're looking at it now going, okay, if it's not on this downloaded playlist from the top conglomerates,
right?
You don't get to pick what music moves you as a DJ anymore. You get to hit the space bar because it's already preloaded for you. Well, if you're not in that top 40, and it's like, well, what are you doing? Where's the KT Osmonds and the Brooks and Dunns, and where's the women over 35 that can actually sing and have lived through the divorces and the heartache and the raising babies and can write about it and be honest about it?
Right.
Where are they at?
Well, that's the thing, there's not a whole lot of independent, like we're an independent radio station, but so many have been picked up by the big boys, and then they have to go by whatever they tell them to play, and there's nothing to go around it, but I don't know, girl. I do. I enjoy your music. And like I said, it's a breath of fresh air. SarahBethTerry.com, and she's out there. And have you got a tour? I guess we're getting at the end of the season. I mean, I guess things is kind of
for me, it's just getting started. Everybody takes a break from Thanksgiving to like Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Like everybody just takes the break off.
Right.
So we're working on the 9th album, and I'm booked every weekend, Christmas parties and whatnot, which I love this time of year because I get to dress up like Loretta Lynn and play the piano. But starting in January, we're gung ho. We're headed to the Bahamas, Illinois, Georgia, Indiana, Ohio, 4 dates in Alabama so far. We're going to Florida. We're trying to get into North Carolina, and there's just a lot coming up. We try to keep 3 weekends out of the month for the road, and one's in Kentucky, and I love it. It's just absolutely wonderful because there's still people out there. Like, we had a good Christmas show the other night in Frankfurt, which was awesome. You know, Kentucky State Capitol and big church, and it was nice to have an attentive audience that wasn't there to get drunk and raise all kinds of cane. They were like, okay, I want to listen to music. And I'm like, that's my crowd. Like, I'm a storyteller and I want to connect with my audience. I love playing the big shows. I love playing huge stadiums, but I also like 10 or 15 people in a little tiny bar in a corner that's just like in it. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
So
I like the,
it is what it is.
Yeah. I like the song where you just sit down with a guitar with the crowd and like unplugged. They got different names for it. You know, the Songbird does a lot of that where you just go and sit and I love that because I like the stories behind the songs. I think that means as much as the song.
Well, that's a big
reason. You listen to Patty Loveless sing Harlan and it's amazing.
Right.
But you listen to Daryl Scott sing it and you're like, I've been to church.
Yeah.
Like, that's his life story. And you have that delivery that sometimes falls short when it makes it to the radio or makes it to the artist that the songwriter like really wants it to get across. And it's like, when you hear them tell the story, knowing that they lived it and that they dealt with it like that we deal with it, you know, grab a guitar and a bottle of whiskey and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those like forgotten art forms. I feel like now it's so mass produced and so cottage industry. Like, it's not, there's an assembly line now. Like, you have to have your hat, and you have to have your boots, and you have to have your sponsors, and you have to.
Yeah.
Where's just talent? Like, it all starts with the song. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's it. It's gone too commercialized.
Totally. Let me ask you a couple of geeky kind of questions here. Where do you do your recording?
Well, it just depends on who's got an open slot.
Okay.
My first couple of albums I did with Bobby Terry and Butter Fortney, and we did those at the Car Barn in Nashville. Then the couple of next albums we did in Indianapolis with Brett Harden, been at Benji Gaither's studio with the Gaithers. And so it's just whoever has an open book. Right now I'm working with producer Jonathan Goodwin, and we're working between Dark Horse in Nashville and the studio here in Kentucky because COVID's still around and now the flu's coming back. So, you know, when you have your lips on a microphone, you have to be a little cautious of where you're at. But it's just kind of whoever's got the best mic in the best room. It doesn't really, I've never been snooty about where I record. So.
And what about session players? You got any favorite guitar players or various, you know, virtuoso types that you like to work with?
Oh, if I could afford Bobby Terry every day of the week, he can play everything. Met him actually through Anthony Smith, and we ended up being 10, so it's just small world in Nashville. But if I had my pick, you know, Brent Mason's one of my favorites. I've worked with him a few times. Love Derek Wells. Jim Ed Hodges is the best fiddle player around. Tim Galloway is really great on guitar. He always gets my vision. My brother is a master drummer, Dylan Terry, and he does a lot of crazy stuff on my albums. My entire 8th album he produced and did all the instrumentation on. So it's the dream team is always in place, but if I can find some that are really, really close, I'm always happy with that too. And here lately I've been doing a lot of my own recording and playing my own stuff on the albums, and I'm really lucky to be with Jonathan Goodwin, who's a talented musician as well. So this next session is probably just going to be me and him. So it's kind of neat to like, you form these bonds with not only writers and artists, but also, like you said, the musicians. Like, that becomes your family. So,
of course. Well, now you're in the heart of it, though. I mean, that's where the music's at. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna throw this out there. If you need a good guitar picker, just give me a call. I do G, C, and D, and every now and then I get fancy and throw an E in there. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have a capo?
A what now?
A capo?
What's a capo? I'll get one. No,
I mean, I'm just saying, if you just know them 3 chords, we can change you up. You can play in every key, son.
Yeah. This is no kidding. No kidding. We were doing a show, and I got a buddy of mine that was playing with us, and he's a phenomenal guitar picker. And he was up there, and I do the lead stuff, and I'm up there goofing off like I always do, and I'm playing, and Tony turns around and he looks at me during the break part, and he says, "Steven, quit playing." I'm not kidding you. That happened, and
Well, I will tell you what's funny. Like, as all good Nashville songwriters, you have to have at least one divorce under your belt before you can write a real heartbreak song.
Right.
So I didn't want to be left out. I got divorced this past June and moved back to a mountain, and now I live with another songwriter, and we raise chickens, and we don't know anything about chickens at all. Like, even like nothing about chickens. Like, I know how to deep fry them and serve them on a platter. Like, that's it.
Oh, I know all about chickens. I'm Baptist. We know all about chicken.
Oh,
yeah, but
Lord.
that's just
And,
the finished cooked product, buddy.
Well, this morning before I left, I heard them all out there. I have 5 cocks in my hen house, which is way too many roosters, I have learned.
Right.
Didn't know that. So we have Ira Dean, Ricky Skaggs, Roy Clark, Marty Stewart, and Tyler Childers, who's a Turkin. He's a neck and neck chicken, looks just like him. And all these chickens, we've got Betty Montgomery and Carol Worley and Karen Tippin, and, they're all named after famous country music singers. And we're just waiting to get sued or somebody to call and be like, okay, I want to come see my chicken. So we're, it's been like this adventure. But we went from having just a small flock to now we've got a whole cluster cluck. There's like 50 of them.
And they're all named after famous people.
And they're all named after famous people.
That is so funny. But now you told me we got to get a break. But now you got people calling wanting chickens in your barn named after them. There's like you told me that, right?
Oh yeah, and there's a rule. You either have to cut one of my songs or write with me, and then you get a chicken.
Oh, there you go. That's promotion right there. That's promotion. Y'all go to.
Well, we'll do this whole Sally Struthers video about for 50 cents a day. You can adopt this chicken and keep it from dying, and you get a picture of your chicken and a feather from your chicken, and as always, the continued promise that will raise you up every day in prayer.
Oh, there you go.
And you better learn how to cry and get your makeup running and everything else.
Well, I got my Tammy Faye lashes ready to go.
You got that ready.
My eyebrows.
Man, you're a marketing genius. There's no doubt. But anyway, Sarah Beth Terry, go check her out, sarahbethterry.com, and you're going to love her music. And follow this gal. She's going to be coming close to us. And when she does, we get her back on and she can promote a little bit more. But, girl, I love independent. I love what you're doing, and I love your music. And thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me, y'all. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to see y'all again.
All right. You take care, okay?
You too.
All right. She's a mess. There's no doubt about that. SarahBethTerry.com. Go check her out. We've got to jump to a break. We've kind of run over a little bit. But anyway, today is Young Harris Water Sports is bringing the show. Go by, check them out. Get your boat winterized. Buy you a camper, and you'll be ready to go. We'll be right back.
Young Harris Water Sports and RV, now offering new RVs from top brands like Cedar Creek Fifth Wheels, Cottage and Villa Park Models, Salem Travel Trailers, No Boundaries Extreme Off-Road Towables, and more. Young Harris Water Sports and RV has the largest service center, parts, and accessories selection in the area, so there's no need to leave the mountains. Young Harris Water Sports and RV, located at 3676 Highway 76, or online at yhmarineandrv.com.
Let's go!
Looking for buying or selling real estate in the mountains? The Rick Andrews Real Estate Team is here to help. Our team of experts will guide you through the real estate process in the Northeast Georgia and Western North Carolina mountains from the moment you inquire until our last meeting. From luxury lakefront estates and beyond, we're here to make buying and selling a rewarding experience. Visit callrickandrews.com to see our listings or call the Rick Andrews Real Estate Team 828-557-9139.
Hello, this is Brett Cohey, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. I know that there has been volatility in the market and you might be wondering what rising rates means for you. Call me today at 706-632-2767. That's 706-632-2767. And let's schedule some time to learn more about our current CD and bond rates. Let's help make sure your money is working as hard as you are. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Yes, he's your best friend, but his listening skills need help. Your dog won't do what you say, and he's jumping all over your parents. We'll take him to the PAWS Dog Training and Canine Behavior Center in Blairsville. Our one-on-one classes will help correct your dog's behavior. The website is pawsworkingdogs.org. By appointment only in Blairsville off 515. Call 706-716-9990. For all levels of dog training, take them to the PAWS Dog Training and Canine Behavior Center in Blairsville.
Do you have eye problems? Ophthalmologist Dr. Dan Eichenbaum, a graduate of Yale Medical School and the Bascom Palmer Eye Institute, has the training and experience to give your precious eyes the expert care they need. Whether it's cataract surgery, macular degeneration, diabetic eye disease, or glaucoma, call Dr. Dan Eichenbaum, 828-837-5404 in Murphy, or 706-745-9777 in Blairsville. Medicare and insurance accepted. Quality eye care, regardless of your ability to pay.
You love your heart, soul, and rock and roll on your radio, but have you visited our new and improved WJULradio.com lately? Bookmark so you can listen to your favorite songs or our morning shows on your computer or device. And while you're there, catch up on any local newscast and sportscast that you may have missed. You'll also find a complete schedule of our weekend programs. WJULradio.com is everything you want, everywhere you go in the mountains.
The Morning Dish.
Young Harris Water Sports says it may be Tuesday, but on the lake, every day's the weekend. Young Harris Water Sports is ranked #1 in customer service and boasts the #1 full marine service department in the mountain area. So make it the best Tuesday ever at Young Harris Water Sports.
All righty, we're back with you. I look like everybody enjoyed that. We got any comments on the commenter machine over there?
We've got Joey Bailey. He's sending us some coffee.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm all about that. Yeah, bring it on, Joey.
And Michael Jim, the question is a riding mower. Is it a riding mower? What is that about?
I know one thing, folks. Musk is in dire straits. His net worth tumbles by $100 billion. Bless his heart, he ain't got but $169.8 billion left. What is he going to do?
I don't know.
What is he going to do?
Not only has he reinstated President Trump's account, but he's also reinstated Juanita Broderick. Remember her?
He's put all of them back on there.
He's putting them all back there.
I just feel sorry for the man. He ain't got but $169.8 billion left. He had $340 billion last November, it says. So I don't know. How is he going to make it? I mean,
don't know.
How is the guy going to make it? I mean, he's just got $169.8 billion.
He'll be on a starvation diet like you.
Yeah, he'll be eating potted meat and Spam just like I do. Bless his heart. Yeah, bless his heart. They're all mad about Trump being. Has he tweeted at all? Has anybody? I ain't seen. Is he tweeting?
I don't think he's gone on there and tweeted at all. I think his position is he
hadn't tweeted yet.
I think he's got some alternate kind of social media thing, and he says that
he's got Truth Social.
He put.
Come on, he's sitting there like looking at his phone, shaking a
wanting
little
too
bit.
bad, like, I want to tweet. I want to tweet. He put Kelly, what's her name? Kathy Griffin or whatever.
Kathy Griffin.
I think he put her back on.
Put her back on.
And then we had that news channel said they ain't never going to tweet again. 24 hours later, they're back to tweeting.
They did.
Alex Jones isn't on there yet, though.
No, he's not going to put
him back on.
And then they put the Babylon Bee back on. Now, I like the Babylon Bee. They are hilarious.
That's where I get my news.
That's
all true.
The best. People can't laugh at themselves anymore. They too dang serious.
Now, they said Alex Jones, he's pretty adamant about not letting Alex Jones back on there because of the Sandy Hook shooting thing and all that.
Yeah,
kind
he
of
did.
stuff.
He said some crazy stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, so that's he kind of made a big statement about that. Elon Musk did. But he let Biden on there, and Biden killed his family of 7, a bunch of kids in a drone strike, so he's still on there.
I don't know, man. I just feel sorry for poor
Biden
Elon
didn't know
Musk.
that he had done it.
Should we start a GoFundMe for Elon Musk? Because, I mean, like I said, he's just got $169.8 billion left. Should we start a GoFundMe account to help the old boy out? I mean, I just hate to see a man struggle.
He needs some help.
Yeah. Yeah, he needs.
I think I got like $4.
Let's send him a quarter or something. You know what I'm saying? I reckon we had a record trout caught in Colorado for the 3rd time this year. So the fish 8 pounds and 9 ounces.
They giving them steroids or something?
I don't know, but I just got to thinking. I caught a trout bigger than that. I did, but when you're fishing and you ain't got no fishing license, you can't brag about it. That's the thing about it. I mean, I couldn't tell anybody that I had this great big fish, but I did.
So was it catch and release, or do you eat them?
Oh, I eat them.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I eat them. Yeah. Basically, the way it works is I normally sit around the fire and get ready to cook because I'm not a good fisherman, but my wife, she go out there, and I'm telling you, there'll be 40 people standing there, and everybody have their hook in the same spot, and my wife will catch the fish.
So that's your theory. Just sit back and let Emily do all the work.
Let her bring it in.
Let her do it.
I mean, I can't catch nothing. Unless I do dynamite. I do good with dynamite, but since they passed all them laws, it's hard to get dynamite.
It's a shame, isn't it?
I mean, does anybody have any extra dynamite out there? I mean, golly, I can catch some fish with that. I ain't kidding you. You talking about catching fish now, I can catch some fish. I mean, I get all sizes. Yeah. Y'all need to go with me one day.
Is there any water left in Lake Chatuke this time of year?
Well, now what is all that stuff they got growing in the lake right now? Everybody's talked about it, but some kind of am I saying it right? Evasive water something?
Invasive species or something?
Yeah, some kind of like weed growing in the lake. It's all over up yonder on where the Hiwassee River comes in.
I better not say weed. There'll be a bunch of the listeners who'll be out there in the middle of the lake trying to harvest it.
That's invasive weed?
Oh, man, that's some good stuff.
Did anybody try to smoke?
I don't know. They say it just takes over the lakes. I don't know. Well, I guess you got to get out there with you a scooper and scoop it up or something. And I don't know. I like the lake though, but I guess you just who knows? You go down at the Okefenokee Swamp, and they got all them lily pads and stuff just grown over. That is so funny, man. We were down there, a couple, how us rednecks are. We don't pay no attention to nothing. So we're out there in one of them little canoes. It's like a 2-horse motor. And these fish were just jumping out of the water. I just thought that was the coolest thing. They were just jumping out of the water all over the place, And I was trying to catch them, I just kind of in the air and this, that, and the other. So then after we get back, we were talking about that, and the guy's like, yeah, there's probably an alligator on there, and the fish are jumping for their life.
Wonder how the alligator is doing.
I haven't seen him this year. I hope somebody hadn't done something with him, but I have not seen him this year.
Was there one in Lake Chattooga?
Yeah, there actually one. He's probably pretty good size now. And but anyway, he might have. I don't know. But anyway, I did have a buddy of mine that mows grass, and he was over. I ain't gonna say where at because y'all be over trying to catch him. But anyway, he found like where the slide thing is, where they slide into the lake. Off this.
Yeah.
And so he had and I'm almost sure that's where he's at. But he's where you can see where he slid down into the lake. But I haven't seen him this year. I really hadn't seen him this year, so I don't know. And we've been looking, and but I don't know. We got Pennsylvania meat plant it's Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat plant has mold and all kinds of unsanitary conditions. Listeria, what is that? Listeria, am I saying that right?
I think so.
It's a foodborne illness.
Yeah,
but I didn't think this was food. It's Beyond Meat. It's like fake stuff. It's not even real food. So how do you get all that on fake?
I've tried it. I've tried the jerky.
Listeria?
Yeah, I've tried Listeria.
What's it taste
like mouthwash,
So you tried some of that?
Yeah, the Beyond Meat jerky.
They got Beyond Meat burgers.
So we tricked somebody. So Kelsey bought some. She eats it. She likes it. And we tried. So my brother, he's always eating beef jerky, and we didn't show him what it was. And he said, "Here, try this." Mm-hmm. So he's eating it, and he said, "Man, that's good." He liked it. He had no idea.
What's it made out of?
Beans, like soybeans and whatever. I don't know. All this other.
All the stuff that will put female hormones into your system.
Everybody worried about me eating potted meat.
I just instantly started crying as soon as I ate it.
Did you really? Now, folks, I'm not kidding you. Packy's sitting over here with his TV on watching the the soccer game. What
that's just un-American to be watching soccer.
I know, man.
Who's playing
That's a
now?
communist sport.
Who's playing now?
Denmark and Tunisia.
Where's Tunisia?
I don't even know.
Is that where the Tasmanian Devils from?
No. Northern Africa.
Tunisia?
Say
it again.
Tunisia.
And this morning, so Argentina is, as far as the betting odds go, I want to say they were 3rd, 4th, 5th to win the whole thing out of all the countries that are in this World Cup. And they lost this morning to Saudi Arabia, which is a huge upset.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah. Saudi Arabia, dude.
I mean, they're like loaded.
That is true. I did think about that this morning. They have like unlimited funding for training, so
that shouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're loaded.
Yeah, very not. They were not favored to win that game at all.
And they won.
Yep.
And who were they playing against?
Argentina.
Where's that at?
Don't cry for me.
Where's Argentina at?
South America. Have you ever heard of South America?
That's where we're at. We're in South America. Jim, I'm telling you, it ain't nowhere around here. What?
Oh Lordy, we're in trouble now.
Wow, this is South America. You know where the Mason-Dixon line's at?
Is that where South America starts?
North America is above that.
South America starts.
Below it.
Okay, I'm with you now.
Oh Lordy. Anyway,
the South shall rise again.
We got to get to a break. So anyway, we'd like to thank Young Harris Water Sports for bringing the show today. They're great people, and they've got a lot of inventory up there. But like I said, if you need – I am not kidding you about your boat. You need it winterized. That is a big deal. So get up there and see them, and we'll be right back.
Young Harris Water Sports and RV now offering the Supreme Surf Boat line, along with Hurricane deck boats, Godfrey pontoons, Monterey, Chaparral, Bayliner bow riders, low pontoons, along with both Yamaha and Sea-Doo PWCs and more. Young Harris Water Sports and RV has the area's largest service center, parts and accessory selection, so there's no need to leave the mountains. Young Harris Water Sports and RV at 3676 Highway 76. Online at yhmarineandrv.com.
Let's go!
The most reasonable prices in town. That's what you can expect from High Country Tire and Wheel in Blairsville. Hey, it's Sherry from the Morning Dish. High Country works hard at finding you the best new or used tire at the price you can afford. All major brands, full selection of sizes, and most of the time we'll have you in and out in 30 minutes. And think of us for oil changes too. High Country Tire and Wheel, high above the post office in Blairsville. We're high on knowledge and service, but much lower on price. Call for an appointment at 706-835-1488.
The Oaks Lakeside Kitchen invites you back to experience the warm Georgia welcome you've been missing and to taste your way through the locally crafted menu by Chef George. Relax around the dinner table with your friends and family with a curated cocktail at the Oaks Lakeside Kitchen. On the shores of Lake Chattooga, the Oaks Lakeside Kitchen welcomes you back. Reservations available at opentable.com. Dinner Friday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Oaks Lakeside Kitchen.
There's honey-do lists and there's honey I can't do this lists. Heavy digging, tree stump removal, driveway grading. Call Mike in Blairsville. Mike Whittemore runs Georgia Mountain Grading and he loves big jobs. Erosion control, culverts, and digging. Yeah, digging. We covered that already. Georgia Mountain Grading. They're insured and they answer when you call. Fast estimates at 706-994-0543 for Georgia Mountain Grading. 706-994-0543.
Blairsville restaurant Grits and Greens is going to rock the block with our ultimate block party on December 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m. Join us at 40 Ernest Street for axe throwing, live music from Rusted Melody, cornhole, hamburgers and hot dogs, s'mores, face painting. This will be a fun event for the whole family. Kids will love jumping in the bouncy house and sipping on hot chocolate. So come rock the block with our ultimate block party at Blairsville restaurant Grits and Greens, December 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m.
Our young patients from 30 years ago have grown into mommies and daddies, and the Hiawassee Family Practice continues to take care of every growing family. Trust your loved ones with Dr. Robert Stallcut, Shirley Youngblood, and Ray Townsend for preventative checkups and those little sniffles and aches that just seem to linger on. Right next to the hospital on Main Street, Hiawassee, and most insurance is accepted. We know your names, and you know ours. That's how family medicine should be. Hiawassee Family Practice, 706-896-2289.
The Morning Dish. The Tuesday Morning Dish is powered by Young Harris Water Sports. You want to deal with people who love boats? You've come to the right place. From a new covered storage facility to boat consignment services, it's all in one place with Young Harris Water Sports.
All righty, folks, we're back with you. I reckon, I'll get it out here in a minute, let my brain catch up with my mouth. Mexican searchers exhumed 53 bags of human remains after a dog is spotted carrying a human hand. Man, that sounds like something out of a horror movie or something. Did y'all hear about that? Y'all didn't hear nothing about that? I reckon, yeah, they actually found 53 bags of human remains down there around the border somewhere. But anyway, this dog was walking around carrying a hand. I just think that's like, you see these horror movies, talking about, but I got to thinking it could be, if it could be a pit bull carrying its owner's hand, you know how them pit bull owners are,
So that's a terrible segue into this, but Ed Abel did.
Sorry, Ed.
Stop laughing.
Sorry, Ed.
All right, so on a serious note, though, Ed did text me this. He said, a reminder about the loss of Towns County Search and Rescue K-9 Molly. Molly passed away Sunday of natural causes at Blue Ridge Emergency Clinic. Molly and her handler and partner, Captain Tyler Keys, worked together for just 2.5 years, but were instrumental in several searches for lost hikers, suicide victims, and mentally impaired persons who wandered into wooded areas. Both Captain Keys and Molly served with honor, and she'll be missed as the Towns County community lost a vital member of their department. A vigil is going to be held Tuesday evening, that's tonight, at Station 2, 6 p.m., and everybody is invited. So
I didn't know anything about that.
All our All are invited as Molly Canine SAR has been buried at Station 2 on Route 66 in Young Harris.
Do they have other canines that are employed?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
they
so.
got more,
Ed does all that stuff.
Yeah, he trains.
He's
our
really
dogs,
good, man.
Yeah, he does. I mean, we pick on Ed a lot, but he does good. Ain't no doubt.
yeah.
He's very talented when it comes to training dogs. Yeah, no doubt. We can get him to do something with Packy here. We'd have it. With.
No, that's hopeless.
So I don't know. Hey, we got Thanksgiving coming up. You ready for Thanksgiving?
About as ready as I'll ever be.
You have like all your folks come in, and you're so glad to see them leave. I mean, come.
Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy.
I know Packy, they're Catholic. I guess y'all have a big wing ding over there, don't you?
We go to, we usually do something over the weekend because I think a lot of people, like we're going to Kelsey's grandparents this weekend and stuff too.
Right.
And they're Baptists.
Yeah, I know it, but you know, at his house, I went to Thanksgiving one time at his house, and I couldn't have no turkey because it's all wild turkey.
So, Packy, you guys just going to talk about religion and politics
That's
the
what
whole
we do.
time?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Get in some fights?
There you go. I reckon USDA blames Russia for rising price of Thanksgiving dinner, so it's all Russia's fault.
It's Putin's fault.
Russia's done it again. He's got her. What do they got to do with turkeys? All our turkeys come from Russia. Maybe that's why we can't understand the words they're saying.
That sounds like Joe Biden.
He actually tried to interview the turkey after he pardoned it up there. Y'all see that? It's like a turkey talking to a turkey.
Yeah, you got that right.
Hello, little turkey.
They said didn't try to sniff its feathers.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess that's what they said. But I don't understand. Y'all have to help me with this because I ain't never been to college, but I don't know what Russia's got to do with Thanksgiving dinner. I don't even think they have Thanksgiving in Russia, do they?
Not that I know of.
Don't worry, we got an Inflation Reduction Act. That'll fix it.
Oh, okay.
Naturally.
I can feel it coming on, yeah.
Yep.
What is it? Fuel prices is the highest this week that it has ever been. Is that not what they just come out and said? I think so. And then they're doing an investigation on Trump. I reckon they broke out an investigation on Trump. Are they going to investigate him
Well, it was
again?
time to do another investigation just to throw some mud.
So we got to do that? I mean, who even cares anymore?
They obviously care.
Well, I don't know, man.
The Democrats.
There's a
and
lot
the
more
globalists-
folks up there that I'd like to investigate other than him.
Well, that ain't happening.
Well, you're right about that. You know, they're talking about doing this thing with Hunter Biden. You know,
That ain't happening.
Everybody I talk to, they're like, okay, they're going to do this investigation. Is anything going to happen? Because everybody up there that gets in trouble, they get scot-free with the big check.
I just saw a news story that the owner of that computer repair store where Hunter brought his laptop, after he reported it, he was visited by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and one of the people from the FBI told him that terrible things, really bad things, almost never happen to people who keep their mouths shut.
Really?
Yep. That's what he says.
Well, you know, he's right about that, to be honest with you.
At least they're being honest about it.
You know, I'm cool with that. Yeah.
That's your government work right there.
What was the sheriff over at Cherokee County there for a long time? What was his name? I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's not over there anymore. He always said, you know, fish wouldn't get caught if he kept his mouth shut. But
Hey, we want to give a big thanks to Daniel Duello. If you've been injured, you don't need to go to Atlanta or even Gainesville to find a lawyer to help you. The office of Daniel Duello specializes in accident cases and is based in Blairsville. 706-603-3036.
hey, we'd like to thank everybody for listening today. No doubt. Y'all go check out that young lady we had on. She is a mess, and she's got a lot going on. And like I said, you'll love her music. SarahBethTerry.com. Jim, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. Enjoyed it.
We'll be back tomorrow if the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise.